On today's episode of the Weekly Monster Truck Podcast, join me as I discuss the latest news in monster trucks, including Monster Jam Steel Titans 2, new toys for 2021, the return of a fan favorite truck, and Monster Jam's schedule for 2021. So strap yourselves in, mash that loud pedal, and get ready, because it's time to jam! Hello and welcome back to the Weekly Monster Truck Podcast. Hi again, everyone. I'm Jackson, also known as Monster Jam Stern. You can follow my social media at Monster Jam Stern on Instagram and Monster Jam Stern on YouTube. Today, unfortunately, this is a solo episode. But I'm excited to just finally, get back into the podcasting game a bit more. I've been very, very busy. And so have my co-hosts, Ryan Zielsdorf and Nick in the Pits. So I thought today I'd give you a special treat just with me. It's not going to be, I'm going to try and make it as interesting as possible. But obviously it should be, because there are lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of new topics to talk about this week. So yeah, let's hit the ground running and start off with Spin Master. So as you know, it's the end of the year. And Spin Master has already started showing off some of their new toys for the 2021 season. They're going to hit the ground running. So here's what's been shown off so far. This is something I'm really looking forward to as a Spin Master collector. The Dirty to Clean trucks. So basically, if you remember the reveal to steel trucks, you put them in, I think it was cold water. You put them in cold water and they would show the steel. So, like, if it was Gravedigger, the black on the truck, like the roof and whatever, that would turn to steel, which is like this grayish looking color. And then you put it in warm water and it would turn back to the original color. I'm not going to lie, I wasn't a big fan of these. I thought they were very, no offense to Spin Master, I thought they were very cheap. And I mean, it was kind of like the color change of things that Hot Wheels did. I really liked them. This one, I wasn't a big fan of, not gonna lie. But this one takes that same concept and takes it to a new level. This is something I'm really looking forward to. So basically, the premise is this. You put it in cold water, and the truck, so the paint of the truck, it has like dirt splatters and mud splatters on the tires. I'll put an example up on the screen when I go to edit this. It looks really, really cool how, you put it in the cold water and it's got the dirt, like it's been at a muddy show, and then you put it back in the warm water and then it looks, just like a normal truck. Very, very creative. I love the creativity that Spin Master had. I love the creativity with Reveal the Steel, but for me personally, I wasn't a fan. I am a fan of this. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what there is currently so far that's been revealed as Gravedigger, Full Charge, Max D, Megalodon, Pirate's Curse, I think Radical Rescue as well. There's quite a lot, and I imagine as the years go on, with all the brand new trucks, two of which I'll talk about next, the one after, it is really, really looking, it's gonna be really awesome to look at. The next one is the brand new employee exclusive Gravedigger ride truck. So we've had a Gravedigger employee exclusive before. That was in 2019. Which there is very limited left. I know OCD is doing Ryan, I should say, is doing a giveaway at some point. So I definitely will be on the lookout for the very last one of those. But for 2021, the ride truck Gravedigger, with albeit a few changes, is going to be the employee exclusive truck. Really looking forward to this. it's pretty unique. So the chase piece of the year, that being the ride trucks, now has an employee exclusive. So it's very, very awesome to see these, employee exclusive trucks. And I'm very much looking forward to hopefully getting my hands on one of them, and to get the ride truck employee exclusive version be even better. And finally, the one that everyone's been going off on social media is Mix 16. Now, what does that entail? It entails currently 2 trucks that we know of, and really 2 trucks that so far have stolen the show. That being Kraken and Saigon Shaker. So these are the first diecast editions of these trucks. They are absolutely beautiful, especially Kraken. Kraken, of course, being a 3D truck. Well, not when it debuted in late 2018 with the, what's it called? The 2D body. The 3D version being made for a Spin Master. It looks absolutely incredible. I cannot believe the amount of detail and accuracy that is on this truck. It is insane. Literally, I am absolutely shocked to see this. Look so beautiful. Absolutely splendid. And I don't want to talk about Kraken all of this time, because Saigon Shaker, known as Shaker in the packs, I think because of licensing issues or something. I apologize if that's wrong. But Saigon Shaker, also known as Shaker, very, very, very nice looking truck. I'm very happy to see both of these, and hopefully the pandemic doesn't strike and I can actually get my hands on these two, because these look beautiful. If you thought that was already as exciting, exciting enough, Steel Titans. It's been a long time since I've talked about the Steel Titans game. Well, a couple of weeks ago, Steel Titans 2, that's right, the second version, was leaked on the Microsoft Store with a couple of screenshots which have gone viral over social media and more. And it is super awesome. So I'm going to talk about this a bit more. So basically, it features a lot of new trucks, which is what has most people talking. And it looks to have some gameplay changes, although we haven't seen any yet. And the proposed, I can't bring it up now because I don't have the link to the thing, and it has since been taken down. The link to the page where it details what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go to Mount Crushmore. Yeah, I know, funny joke. That's actually what it's called. But very clever. You'll also know in the what's it called? The cover art, you'll notice that there is a mountain in the back. So you have a Gravedigger and Higher Education, which I'll get to Higher Education and the others in a sec. You see, you have Gravedigger and Higher Education, and then the back there is a mountain. Again, I'll put this on screen. You'll see there is a bunch of little trucks, that being there are 4 versions of Gravedigger. So the original Gravedigger, the Legend, well, what was the original Legend, not the revived one, the Gravedigger we've all known to come and love, and Son of a Digger. So you have the four heads from Mount Rushmore replaced with the 4 Gravediggers, basically, which is really, really cool. I'm very excited to this. Now, some people are very skeptical because they use similar assets from the previous game, but I have a feeling that THQ Nordic and the other people that are working on this game know what we are after, and they're going to try and implement that into the game, and I think they've already done a fantastic job. Already with the truck list is insane. They have lots of new trucks, some of which have never even been seen in a Monster Jam game. Both we're talking about Feld trucks. There's a couple. There's some that have been brought back, and there is indie trucks. For the first time in Steel Titans, indie trucks exist. There was a leaked previous image of Jurassic Attack, shared by Don Frankish, which people went viral and absolutely nuts over, now has been implemented into Steel Titans 2. And this game is set to release, I believe, February 23rd, 2021. So it is not a long wait for this game, assuming, of course, it does not get delayed. And I'm really hoping that doesn't happen. Below, I'm going to read out the trucks that have been spotted in the screenshots. So yeah, here we go. Avenger, Fire, Backwards Bob, Bakugan Dragonoid, Blue Thunder, Captain's Curse, Crustacean, Earthshaker, Gas Monkey Garage, Gravedigger, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, Higher Education, Ice Cream Man, Jurassic Attack, very interesting, Monster Mutt Dalmatian, Monster Mutt Husky, Monster Mutt Junkyard Dog, Monster Mutt Poodle, Monster Mutt Rottweiler, Octonator, Soldier Fortune Black Ops, and Sparkle Smash. Again, a very fantastic lineup. There is going to be a lot more than that. I can tell. There's lots of trucks that are in most games that people haven't seen. The trucks that I want to note, obviously, is the indie trucks. I don't even think I have to say anything about that. Jurassic Attack is making a comeback. Gas Monkey Garage, never been in a Monster Jam game, now making its return. Backwards Bob is an absolute delight to see. I am super excited. And the other ones that really had me intrigued was the Spin Master trucks. We now have Octonator. We have, I almost said Junkyard Dog. That is exciting to see, but that's not a Spin Master truck. We have Husky, and Sparkle Smash. So it's really interesting to see that they've brought a lot of new trucks into the game, which is super awesome because they all look fantastic, and I'm just really excited. Currently, there is no gameplay footage yet of the game, so we have not seen anything in terms of gameplay yet, but I will make sure that I update you guys when the trailer comes out. Again, we're only going off of screenshots and the list of the game. There have not been any official posts from the Monster Jam Games Instagram, Twitter, etc. But I can assure you that when it starts to get promoted a bit more, there's going to be some great things. I'm really looking forward to see the gameplay out of everything. And more truck reveals. Definitely want to be on the lookout for that. Well, I mentioned Jurassic Attack a bit earlier. I want to move on to one of my absolute favorite things I wanted to talk about. This actually got shown off on another podcast run by my friend Vincent Ackard on his Monster Truck Outlaws of the West podcast. Team Throttle Monster Trucks have recently formed a partnership with Don Frankish to revive the legendary Jurassic Attack monster truck. 10 years of this truck not being in competition, pretty much. It has existed as a ride truck, but it has not gone any further than that. And that is kind of depressing because this truck is just beautiful. I love it. And they've revived it. There was hints a couple of times, and they've been hinting at a new design, and on the Outlaws of the Monster Truck West podcast that Vincent runs, he had the pleasure of revealing the design, and I'll put it on screen. It is absolutely beautiful. It is a cyborg themed truck. There's a missing eye, which is replaced with like a robotic eye. It's got like the skin is shredded, so you can see like the wires and stuff coming out of the truck. It's got lots of like metal things on it. It's really super cool. I am just amazed at what they've been able to do with this truck to revive it. It's so good to see Jurassic Attack back in competition. And it's a shame that Don Frankish can't drive it because I really like Don Frankish. But, hey, seeing Jurassic Attack in competition, I think is better than nothing. And it looks splendid. And I'm really looking forward to seeing it. It's actually going to make its debut in Salt Lake City, Utah in 2021 for Monster Jam's first arena show. of that year, with David Olfert behind the wheel. And this segues very nicely into my next and final topic for this podcast, which is Monster Jam's schedule for 2021. So basically, there were lots of shows, especially recently, that have been revealed in terms of driver lineups and show dates and etc. Really looking forward to seeing Monster Jam come back. The first time we saw Monster Jam since the pandemic was in Arlington, a 2-show weekend, very interesting, and it was just great. Well, excuse me, now there have been multiple shows, including the absolute insanity that is what I've decided to call the 3-weekend Battle Royale in Houston, which we'll get to in just a sec. But first, let's talk about Salt Lake City. So, Salt Lake City is going to be heading to Vivint Arena January 8th to 10th, 2021. So, Friday has one show. There is no pit party. Gates open at 6 p.m. and the start time is 7 p.m. Saturday is January 9th. There's 2 shows. Show 1, 11 a.m. is the pit party, which is really interesting to see, and I'll talk to that as I get through the rest of this. Gates open at 12 p.m. Start time is 1 p.m. The second show on that day, it starts at the gates open at 6 p.m. and the start time is 7 p.m. And Sunday, there are 2 shows. There's no pit party for either of them. Gates open 11 a.m. for show 1, and the start time is 12 p.m. also for show 1. Show 2 on the same day, January 10th. It starts at 5:30. There's no pit party, as I mentioned, and the start time is 6:30 p.m. The lineup consists of the following drivers: Gravedigger, Christian Anderson, Great Clips, Mohawk Warrior, Bryce Kenny, Jurassic Attack, David Olfert, Megalodon, Adam Anderson, Monster Energy, Todd LeDuc, Obsessed, Eric Swanson, Time Flies, Kelvin Raymer, and Wildflower, Rosalie Raymer. Absolutely, absolutely fantastic lineup. Literally have zero problems with this lineup. Nothing. It's beautiful. We've got Kristen, who's pretty much the best. She should be doing very well in this because she's been competing in arenas for quite some time, and she gets to drive Gravedigger a bit more. Bryce, fantastic guy. He should do fairly well in arenas. He did that for a couple of years, I think 2 or so. David, of course, driving Jurassic Attack, a lot of hype coming into that weekend. Very much looking forward to his performance. Adam Anderson and Megalodon, really interested. He's driven in a few arenas before. He gets to drive Megalodon, so of course, and he's an Anderson, so again, that pressure is there to perform to that level. Probably, other than David, the person with the most pressure is Todd LeDuc and Monster Energy. He's competing in something he really hasn't done very much. The last time he competed in an arena was Antwerp 2019, which was an overseas show. And I think most people are a bit weary about seeing Todd in a confined space. But again, we're talking about Todd LeDuc here. He's not just about all out, full throttle, sending it, taking wins and stuff. Well, obviously he wants to take wins, but I think the pressure that he puts on himself and the pressure that he's going to get from this event is going to help him to perform to a level where he's going to be able to take at least 1 or 2 wins. And then we have the 3 other indies. We have Obsessed Eric Swanson, fantastic guy. It's going to be great to see him compete there in Salt Lake. And then the Kelvin family, that consisting of Time Flies with Kelvin and Wildflower with Rosalie. I think I said the Kelvin family, meant the Raymer family, my bad. Again, those 2 great people, great team. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. So Salt Lake City is the first one of those shows. Then January 23rd and 24th, San Antonio at the Alamodome. There's a very interesting lineup here. Oh, actually, I forgot to mention as well. So, I'm very interested to know why. Well, first off, the first Saturday show is the only show out of all of the shows that I'm about to mention, that being that being the rest of the Salt Lake City shows, all the San Antonio shows, and every single one of the Houston shows. They all have, what's it called? They don't have pit parties, but this one show does, which I find very interesting. I'm not sure if it's a mistake, but that's what the website says. I find that very interesting. Of course, there's going to be social. There's going to be lots of, oh yeah, it is social. Social distancing rules and COVID restrictions. So I'm not imagining anything too big. I imagine it's going to be pretty small. And I think now that I think about it, considering it's at an arena, it kind of makes sense. But I do find it very interesting. So basically, if you're wanting to meet the drivers, and you're wanting to meet David driving Jurassic Attack, the first show on Saturday is pretty much your best chance in order to get up to it close, I imagine. I imagine you'll probably be able to get close to the trucks, just maybe not the drivers. Anyway, moving back to San Antonio. So there's two shows on Saturday. The first show, the gates open at 10:30 a.m. The start time is 12 p.m. The second show on Saturday starts at 5:30 p.m. and starts at 7 p.m. And on the Sunday, the gates open at 1:30 p.m. and the start time is 3 p.m. The lineup is very interesting, so I'll read through it right now. So, Avenger, Jim Kohler. Bakugan Dragonoid, Ryan Anderson. Very interesting. Black Pearl, Cole Vernard. Gravedigger, Kristen Anderson. Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, Bryce Kenny. Megalodon, Adam Anderson. Max D, Tom Menz. Monster Energy, Todd LeDuc. Overboard, Jamie Garner. Rage, Corey Rummel. Scooby-Doo, Lindsay Reed. Zombie, Barry Musawa. And that is all. Very, very interesting lineup. So first off, I want to talk about this. Bakugan Dragonoid. Still, Ryan is driving it. Very interesting. I'm not entirely sure why Ryan is still driving this, but I don't particularly have a problem with it. Ryan did fairly decent in Bakugan in Arlington, and this probably is still good for him because he still gets seat time. He gets more opportunities to drive Bakugan, and I can imagine, considering that he's driving Bakugan in the other Houston shows, that Bakugan is pretty much going to be his normal truck. So I guess we'll find out with that. Great to see more indies in here. Jim Kohler, great to see. Cole Vernard, great to see. Rage, great to see. One of the ones that no one's really talked about, the most interesting part of this lineup has to be Lindsay Reed and Scooby-Doo. First off, she's getting a stadium show, not just one, but four, well, in terms of weekends. Lindsay is getting to drive Scooby-Doo, so we have not seen Scooby-Doo or Lindsay compete in anything Monster Jam related, except, so pretty much since the pandemic has started, we have not seen Lindsay in a truck since the pandemic started, which I find very interesting. So she's one of the few drivers that Monster Jam hasn't brought on board yet, or that they have, clearly. So it's great to see Lindsay back in her truck, and as still, 2 years, the reigning freestyle champion. So hopefully we'll be able to see Lindsay Reed and Scooby-Doo defend her championship. I'm really looking forward to this, and the rest of the lineup is absolutely fantastic. So now we move on to the craziness that is what I've decided to call the 3 weekends of Houston. So, weekend 1 is at NRG Stadium, January 30th and 31st. There's one show per day. On Saturday, the gates open at 5:30 p.m. and the start time is 7 p.m. Sunday, January 31st, the gates open at 1:30 p.m. and the start time is 3 p.m. The lineup is pretty much exactly the same as the other one, but I'll go through just to remind you. I won't read it out for the other ones. So here we go. Avenger, Jim Cola, Bakugan Dragonoid, Ryan Anderson, Black Pearl, Cole Vernard, Gravedigger, Christian Anderson, Great Clips, Mohawk Warrior, Bryce Kenny, Megalodon, Adam Anderson, Max D, Tom Mentz, Monster Energy, Todd LeDuc, Overboard, Jamie Garner, Rage, Corey Rummel, Scooby-Doo, Lindsay Reed, and Baru Misawa in Zombie. Again, same lineup. I just wanted to read it just to refresh your mind. So this is the first weekend of action in Houston, because not too long after that, in fact, I think a weekend or two after that, we head to Houston again for the second weekend. So, Saturday, February 6th, there's no pit party at either shows. I know I mentioned that earlier, but I'm just going to remind you guys. 5:30 p.m. is when the gates open, and the start time is 7 p.m. Sunday, the February the 7th, 11:30 p.m. is when the gates open, and the start time is 1 p.m. The lineup is exactly what it was before. So very interesting that they've decided to keep the lineups and not shake it up, but oh well. And finally, the third weekend of action at NRG Stadium, February 13th and 14th. So, Saturday now has two shows. So, gates open at 10:30 a.m. for the first show on Saturday, and the start time is 12 p.m. For the first show. The second show on Saturday, 5:30 p.m. is when the gates open, and 7 p.m. is the start time. Sunday, February 14th, the gates open at 1:30 p.m. and the start time is 3 p.m. The lineup again is exactly the same. So, very, very interesting to see pretty much 4 weekends, 3 of them being in the same place, in the same venue, but 4 weekends back to back to back to back to back in Texas. 4 weekends. That is insane. I don't think I've ever seen... I mean, Anaheim normally has their shows, one after the other, but they have a break in between them. And then to see 4 weekends, again, 3 of them in the same venue, is insane. So, I am very much looking forward to this, especially. Again, I've already talked about the lineup, but still very, very, very interesting. Really looking forward to seeing what happens here. Obviously, there isn't going to be any point series kind of things. I don't imagine that happening. Because, I mean, I don't think they have enough drivers for that. But nonetheless, very interesting. 4 weekends in Texas. I'm really looking forward to that. And unfortunately, that is the end. Thank you everyone so much for listening. Remember, if you want to follow my social media, it's at Monster Jam Historian on Instagram and Monster Jam Historian on YouTube. You can also follow the official Weekly Monster Truck Podcast page at the Weekly MT Podcast on Instagram. And for more places to listen on, you can check out the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, where I post a bunch of other content. As well as the podcast. You can also check out the Anchor, Spotify, Radio Public, and Google Podcast page as usual. Again, those are the audio versions. If you want to watch the video version, you have to go to YouTube. And I'll probably be the one that I link in my bio when I go on Instagram. Firstly, before I close off, I just wanted to say thank you guys for a great year. I want to put out one more episode, maybe 1 or 2, before the year officially closes out, before Christmas, and definitely before Christmas. Excuse me. I definitely want to put out a final episode. I want to get on pretty much all of the co-hosts, that being Ryan and Nick and everyone else. I want to get them on to do a final hurrah for 2020. In terms of the year, it's been pretty tough. It's been pretty challenging. But in terms of the podcast, it has been fantastic. Literally, I've had so much fun doing this year. But I'd rather save that spiel for then. So, please keep tuning in to the podcast. There's great stuff coming. 2021, I had plans for 2020. I've pushed them back for 2021. A lot of people have too. Well, podcast, I'm going to say it's going to be bigger and better next year. You guys are not going to want to miss it. There's going to be so much content, so much stuff happening, so much more interviews. It's going to be absolutely great. I'm going to make the already exciting podcast even more entertaining and exciting. And finally, please stay tuned on YouTube for more Rigs of Rods content. I know some of my fans are really into the Rigs of Rods content I make. Well, there's more coming. I've been very busy. And behind the scenes, I'm slowly making more videos and more content. They do take time, but they are coming out. So basically, in other words, stay tuned. Basically, don't turn your phone off for a second, because at the blink of an eye, there could be something new and something really, really cool from the podcast that you might miss. So you don't want to miss it, because it's going to be fantastic. Thank you, everyone, so much for listening, and have a fantastic week. Goodbye, guys.